Clearly a noble prince of high status, the man was willing to hide his identity and become the woman's lover. The reason traced back to years ago, when the prince was being hunted down, he accidentally broke into the woman's room. The kind-hearted woman disregarded her reputation and saved him without hesitation. Seeing the prince was injured, she also carefully treated his wounds, and it was this tenderness that made the prince fall in love with her. Just as the prince was about to propose to her, he found out she had already married the prime minister. This left the prince deeply dejected. Unexpectedly, 3 years later, he received news that the woman was looking for a lover. In fact, although the woman had been married to the prime minister for 3 years, he had been away on disaster relief missions the entire time. When he finally returned home, he brought a strange woman with him. Her husband claimed the woman had risked her life to save him before, so he had brought her and her son home to repay the kindness. But the woman saw through her husband's lie at once, for she was a reincarnated soul. In her previous life, she had believed her husband's words and agreed to let the woman stay. However, after she handed over all her family's property to her husband, he colluded with that strange woman and killed her family. Only then did she realize the strange woman was actually her husband's mistress, and the boy was their illegitimate child. The news shattered her, but her husband still killed her in the end. When the woman woke up again, she found herself reincarnated back to the day her husband had just returned home. This time, she still didn't refuse to let the mistress and the illegitimate child stay. Instead, she secretly asked her maid to help her find a handsome man because she needed a child to gain the ability to fight for the family property and eventually drive her husband's family out of the house. Unexpectedly, this news reached the prince. Determined to make the woman choose him, the prince deliberately hid his identity and disguised himself as a fleeing scholar. He thought the kind-hearted woman would take him home, but to his surprise, the woman noticed the extremely luxurious quality of his clothes at a glance. She immediately suspected the prince might be a fraud, so she kicked him away with one foot and fled in a panic. The guards thought the prince would be furious, but on the contrary, he thought the woman was extremely smart and his desire to become her lover only grew stronger.